124 years before Elvis, 132 years before Mick Jagger, and 183 years before Justin Bieber, there was Franz Liszt. When Liszt was only 7 years old, his father decided that his son was a piano prodigy, and so just like Mozart, Liszt was taken all over Europe by his father to perform. When the father died in 1827, Liszt would stop touring for years. When Liszt did return to touring, he certainly managed to find a lot of enthusiasm for it. His performances were dramatic and flamboyant. He would toss his hair and sigh heavily and throw handkerchiefs on stage. History had never seen a pianist like Liszt before. Before Franz Liszt, pianists would keep their hands close to the keyboard. And then Liszt marched in, and he was such a showman. His technique was epic, and his performances were raw and passionate. And the women went nuts. They would rush into the streets to try to meet him, fight over his handkerchiefs, and some would faint at the sight of him. The ones that didn't faint would try to grab a pair of scissors and clip a lock of his hair. Liszt's escapades were the talk of Europe, and for good reason. In 1833, Liszt met Countess Marie d'Agoult, and the two began an affair, even though she was married. The next year, she ran off to Switzerland so she could be with Liszt, and so she could tell him that she was pregnant. The two had 3 children together, including Cosima Liszt, who ended up marrying Richard Wagner. Then Liszt went off on tour, and the Countess became jealous because it was rumored that Liszt had not stopped his liaisons with women. She had good reason to be jealous. After the relationship with the Countess ended, Liszt met Princess Caroline Suzanne Wittgenstein, who was also married. The two lived together for a while, but Liszt didn't want anyone to know, so he got his mail forwarded to a hotel nearby. And then, in 1865, Liszt figured he should become a priest. He certainly didn't change his lifestyle, though. Liszt adopted a whole new approach to the piano. In addition to that, he was the very first musician to perform entire concerts by himself on a regular basis. Before 1839, several musicians would get together and each play part of a concert, but Liszt figured he could do it all on his own. And he could. He called these first performances soliloquies. Later on, they were known as recitals. Franz Liszt really changed music history forever, and he did it with a lot of passion.